Prince Charles joins European royals for funeral of Romania's King Michael. Huge crowds gathered Bucharest today for the funeral of ex-King Michael, one of the last surviving World War II European heads of state. The monarch ruled his country twice, switching its alliance away from Nazi Germany to the Allied side during the war. He was eventually forced into exile when the Communists took over Romania in 1947. Churches in the city rang their bells and mourners, many in tears, threw white flowers as a funeral procession made its way through the streets. People were heard chanting King Michael and Down with Communism in tribute to their former monarch, who died in Switzerland on December 5 at the age of 96. Charles was joined by Spain's former king, Juan Carlos, alongside King Carl Gustaf of Sweden and his wife Queen Sylvia. He cut a solemn figure at the pre-funeral service at Bucharest's royal palace, where Michael's body had lain in state. Other royals including Princess Astrid and Prince Lawrence of Belgium joined the state funeral service in the cathedral where Michael was crowned for the second time in 1940. The monarch's coffin was carried on the railway line built by his grandfather Carol I from Bucharest to the necropolis at Curtea Arges, built by his grandfather. Michael commanded great respect from Romanians who saw him in sharp opposition to a political class which they linked with poverty and corruption. A descendant of the German Hohenzollern dynasty and a cousin of Queen Elizabeth, he first took the throne aged just 5 when his father eloped with a mistress and abdicated. He was in his early 20s when he participated in a 1944 coup that overthrew fascist leader Marshal Ion Antonescu. Romania then broke with Nazi Germany and switched to the Allied side. Historians have said his actions might have shortened the war and saved thousands of lives. After communism collapsed, politicians fearing Michael's influence blocked his first few attempted visits after decades of exile in Switzerland, Britain and the US. He finally returned to Romania in 1992 and regained citizenship in 1997. However, he had retired from public life in recent years after struggling with illness. With his passing, the Romanian royal family's relevance will likely fade, since his children have little public standing. Princess Margareta, his eldest daughter, remains custodian of the crown. His death comes at a time of deep divisions in Romanian society. Massive street protests against attempts by the ruling Social Democrats to weaken the fight against corruption and the rule of law have taken place on and off throughout 2017. Earlier this month, the Social Democrats used their solid majority to approve a judicial overhaul in the lower house that threatens to put the justice system under political control. On Monday, politicians begin debating changes to the criminal code that critics say will derail law and order.